Hello and welcome. This is the Sundial NZ newsletter. And for the first time today in May 2023, I am reading my newsletter as well as posting it out to those who have subscribed. So here I go. Giving, receiving, being vulnerable, being you. Together with my younger sister, I am visiting my older sister in the United States. We three have not been together for about 6 years, and I have not been in the USA for 19 years. It's a big trip, and we treasure the time and opportunities we have. I have a lot to be grateful for, and I am reflecting on how each of us has evolved into our own. Over the past 20 or 30 years, we have matured and grown to accept and appreciate each other and our differences. Most of you would agree that families can bring up the good, the bad, and the ugly. It can trigger hurts, traumas, and it can bring deep joy and love and compassion, and of course, everything in between. No one is the same, and let us honor our own learning. So awakening to what family patterns we are still caught up in, and sometimes even after years and years of good work on yourself. What programs and thoughts are still repeating but are no longer serving us? There are some of my limiting programs and belief systems that I have recognized and challenged over the years. I am not good enough. I have to please people to be okay, and that's very exhausting. I have to be perfect to be okay. I have to do things perfect to be okay. I have to work hard, also exhausting. I don't belong. And of course, there is the one, I have a fear to be really vulnerable. And below in my newsletter, there will be more about that. Now, over the years, I have replaced some of these belief systems by empowering messages and supporting me and my life experience as for now. I'm enough. I am kind. I can please people if I want to. And I can also think about it and please myself, or I say no. I'm okay, even if I don't know something. I'm okay if I make a mistake. It's okay to be me. I can feel deeply and still be okay. I can notice how I feel and take time out if I want or need. I can enjoy life. I'm calm. I am loved. I'm appreciated. I love myself. I am. There are a gazillion more limiting and empowering belief systems. The above ones are some of mine. You may recognize the odd one in yourself. The key is to become aware of your limiting belief systems, and from there, you can start to reprogram yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Just recognize it and choose a new life-affirming way to communicate with yourself and others. How about ask yourself, is it what I am thinking or doing right now life enhancing or limiting? Having a choice is empowering, one thought, one action at a time. Choose kindly. You are the closest person to you, and you may as well treat yourself with respect, and that is truly life enhancing. We can be gentle yet strong towards ourselves and others. With great love and respect, Gabriela. Of course, always feel free to email me on sundialinz@gmail.com. I welcome your hellos, your mails, and your contact. Next in my newsletter, I have attached a video that for those who are subscribed can receive a free DQ process. The next chapter is spirituality, your personal pathway. I have attached a photo below where I am climbing up the stairs of a lighthouse, climbing up or descending down. Both directions are part of our spiritual growth. The up and the down, the light and the dark are on our pathway. Late April, I had an experience that was not exactly pleasant, and it took me quite some personal and spiritual stamina to stay grounded and move through it. Life is good, however, that doesn't mean that we are idle and do nothing. Personal and spiritual growth happens all the time. I recently saw on Facebook a quote saying something like, I've learned to grow through challenges. However, I now know that I can grow and learn through joy. So notice, where are you experiencing joy? And then what can you learn through joy? So step one would be notice a good, pleasant, happy, joyful, positive, supportive, life-enhancing experience, thought, or thing. This is awareness. Step two, learn something that is life-enhancing. How did it become good? This means acceptance and a rise in consciousness. Step three, repeat step one and step two, action, and through that you create more good. However, in case you are in a dark place that feels stuck, ask yourself, what is wanting to be born? Where am I resisting to the new growth? Can I allow myself to be open to new ways that support me? Listen to the quiet guidance within and follow it. The guidance from within we get from a place that is not our mind or our ego. It is a place of universal intelligence that each and every one of us has access to. It takes practice and willingness to notice it, learn, trust, and your life will become easier and more grateful. This universal guidance is always benevolent, never critical. The critical thoughts are resistance from ego or the mini-me. Your way of noticing the universal intelligence / guidance may be through knowing. You just know something. We call it clear cognitions. Through hearing, inside or outside, clairaudience, seeing, inner vision, outer vision, clairvoyance, feeling, information you receive through feelings or emotions is clairsentience. We all have our clairs. We sometimes just have forgotten how to use them. Practice. The next chapter is about receiving gifts, being vulnerable, let love in, let go of control. Are you much better in giving than receiving? Well, then read on, listen on. It's so easy to give, isn't it? What about receiving? As I have been writing this, I'm taking a deep breath. This is a big one. And in the past few days, I had reflected back to me that I don't always receive well, especially from those that are close to me. I got curious and introspected to find out more about myself. Why am I at times saying no to offerings? I asked myself. I realized that I am afraid of really being vulnerable. I'm protective of my own space. And this is not a bad thing. However, it can also be limiting in allowing relationships with loved ones to deepen. So check. I would assume that many of you can relate to this and know that being vulnerable is the greatest gift and creating love, intimacy, and deep, meaningful space. For yourself, how hard is it for you to receive gifts? No matter what form the love comes from, it can be material or simply a hug, a touch, or any other offering. The nitty-gritty is I love to give, it gives me joy. However, I have limited and controlled and pushed away people, and I have controlled what I thought was safe to come into my heart. Holding on to an old fear of being overwhelmed or hurt has created a program of if I let love in, I might get hurt, shamed, and I lose control. By not receiving, I control how much I am vulnerable or not, how I feel or not, and maintain an underlying fear of feeling shame and overwhelm and fear of not being in control. Can you see how I have limited myself in receiving and feeling potential joy and love? I love when I discover how I have limited myself and now have an opportunity to change the limiting beliefs, programs, and fears. I have many tools to do that. And yes, DQ, OwnCode, and DMT coding are just some. However, all self-soothing, mindfulness, and awareness tools are are valuable. Be excited to identify fears and programs as it gives you an opportunity to turn things inside out, and thus you are no longer held back by old limitations. In many aspects of my life, I have learned how wonderful it is to be vulnerable, reminding myself that I can be vulnerable and embrace my emotions, feelings, and anxiety in most general situations, alone or with others. As from today, I consciously shift into receiving from people that I am close to, even if I feel an old insecurity arising. I know that I can regulate and support myself. I can cope. I am strong, capable to be there for my inner world. I can receive love and I can give love. This journey has brought a deep discussion with the person I love dearly and has given so much insight and freedom. I feel lighter and I feel that for my loved one too, that it was a gift that I opened up. I had the courage to look within and then to talk about it. So staying vulnerable. And through that, we had a chance to deepen our understanding and relationship in a loving and meaningful way. I invite you to contact me if there is a topic that you would want to discuss. Contact me on email, sundialnz@gmail.com, or on my mobile. Find that on my website. Next, DQ and OwnCode. If you're interested in a cutting-edge way of self-empowerment, letting go, changing old programs and belief systems, get in touch with me. Experience DQ, OwnCode, and evolution card readings or codings, methods, and step into who you truly are. Empower yourself. Set yourself free. Further, in my newsletter, I have a podcast appearance where I discuss with a colleague of mine, Serena Lauren, how it is important to take a break, to take time out when we have been busy, or even if we have been simply working on ourselves a lot. Sometimes we need a break to integrate. So let love in, breathe, consciously receive, and allow. I wish you well. Thank you so much for being here, for listening, and for contacting you, the best within you, and empower yourself. Namaste.